And now, ladies and gentlemen, it gives me great pleasure to bring to the stage His Excellency, the President of the Democratic Republic of Sao Tomé and Príncipe, to give a special address. Please warmly welcome President Carlos Vila Nova.
Your Excellency, Professor Jane Nana Opoku Agyemang, Vice President of the Republic of Ghana. Your Excellency, Pascal Affi N'Guessan, former Prime Minister of the Republic of Côte d'Ivoire. Honorable Ministers, leaders of industry and finance, representatives of regional and continental institutions, ladies and gentlemen. When summits conclude, what lingers is not the elegance of our words, but the weight of our choice. Applause fades. Declarations are achieved. What endures is whether political leaderships, translators, share understanding into a different way of governing. That is the test before us now. Africa has spoken for many years about industrialization, connectivity, and integration. We have produced strategies, signed agreements, and announced ambitious projects. Yet, we must be honest with ourselves. The distance between our intentions and our outcomes remains too wide. This summit has been important not because it introduced new ideas, but because it confronted us with an uncomfortable truth. Africa's industrial future will not be determined by vision alone, but by whether we are prepared to change how we design, govern, and sustain the infrastructure of which that future depends. Across our continent, ports stand as symbols of progress. Railways are launched with pride. Power plants are commissioned with ceremony. And yet, factories still struggle to compete. Farmers still lose value between production and market. And traders still wait at borders longer than they move on highways. This is not because Africa lacks infrastructure. It is because too often we have treated infrastructure as an object to be built rather than a system to be made to work. What we rarely acknowledge is that time has now become Africa's most expensive infrastructure deficit. Every year of delay compounds lost competitiveness, lost employment, and lost confidence. Infrastructure postponed is opportunity denied, not to abstract markets, but to millions of young Africans whose future do not wait for political comfort or administrative convenience. Delay today is not neutral. It carries a generational cost. We must therefore speak plainly about the nature of Africa's challenge. It is not primarily a shortage of capital. Capital exists in abundance globally. What it seeks is not rhetoric, but coherence. Investors, producers, and traders look for systems that function predictably over time. What they too often encounter in Africa are fragments. Ports planned without industrial zones. Industrial parks developed without guarantee power. Rail lines negotiated without firm offtake. And corridors that lose their efficiency the moment they reach a border. We have organized our states in silos, while expecting our economies to behave as integrated systems. That contradiction can no longer be sustained, and this is where leadership must be tested. The future will not reward the country that builds the largest port in isolation. It will reward the region that moves goods faster, powers industry reliable, clear borders predictable, and offers confidence to investors behind electoral timelines. We must also confront the global moment in which we stand. The world is not waiting for Africa to become ready. As we said yesterday, supply chains are being reorganized. Industrial policy has returned with force across advanced and emergency economies alike. Capital is being redeployed with speed and selectivity. In this environment, delay is not nearly costly. It is displacing. Opportunities that pass through our ports today will not return tomorrow if we fail to another them to production and value creation. We must also confront the way we speak about energy. For too long, success has been measured in megawatts installed. Industry measures success differently. It measures reliability, stability, and predictability. No industrial corridor can function without guaranteed power. No manufacturing economy can grow on intermittent supply. Energy policy must therefore cease to be treated as a purely technical matter and be recognized for what it is, a central pillar of industrial strategy. Where power planning is not aligned with ports, industrial zones, and logistics hubs, we should not pretend we are building for industrialization. The same honesty is required in how we manage our borders. There is no clear indicator of political seriousness than the efficiency of border systems. Every inconsistent rule is a signal that integration exists more in declaration than in practice. Physical infrastructure without modern customs systems, digital processes, and harmonized transit rules is unfinished work. And unfinished work does not inspire confidence. We must also be clear about financing. The challenge is not to be absent of interest in Africa, but the absence of bankable structure. Public-private partnerships and blended finance allocated, governance is credible and policy is predictable. They fail where infrastructure is announced before it is structured. The responsibility of political leadership is not to replace private capital, but to prepare the conditions under which it can invest responsibly and at scale. This requires a different understanding of courage. The courage required of us now is not only the courage to build, but the courage to stop building what does not serve our future. It is the courage to say no to prestige projects that lack economic logic, to suspend initiatives that cannot be sustained, and to coordinate rather than compete with coordination delivers greater value. Discipline must become our new ambition. Restraint must become our new measure of leadership. This summit therefore places a responsibility on us that goes beyond endorsement. It requires political adoption. It requires us to accept the infrastructure linked to industrialization must be planned and governed as integrated systems, not isolated assets. The regional corridors must be treated as shared economic instruments, not national trophies. That power reliability for productive sectors must be elevated as a strategic priority, and that summit outcomes must translate into timelines, institutions, and follow through rather than reports that gather dust. Our citizens, particularly our young people, will not judge this generation of leadership by how many strategies we endorsed or how many summits we attended. They will judge us by whether opportunity reached them in time. They will ask not for what we promised, but what we deliver when the moment demanded courage and clarity. It is in this context that I call directly on African governments, regional institutions, and international financial institutions to move beyond expressions of goodwill and to actively support the work of key institutions, such as the African Trade Chamber. Over the past 2 years, we are all can attest that the Chamber is not merely a platform of dialogue. It is emerging as a vehicle for alignment between policy and industry, between public ambition and private capital, and between continental vision and practical delivery. If Africa is serious about building industrial corridors, integrating value chains, and converting infrastructures into competitiveness, then institutions such as the African Trade Chamber must be strengthened, resourced, and empowered to do this work at scale. I urge our development finance institutions, multilateral partners, and private financiers to engage with private sector-led institutions like the Chamber, not as observers, but as partners, supporting corridor preparation, industry onshoring, and bankable project development. And I urge African governments to treat this platform not as an external initiative, but as an ally in delivery, one that can help bridge the persistent gap between policy intent and economic outcome. This is why the world ahead is uncomfortable. It will require cancelling projects already announced, subordinating national pride to regional logic, and enforcing coordination where fragmentation has been tolerated. There is no applause on this world, only outcomes. If Africa is to industrialize, this discipline is no longer optional. It is the price of relevance. I thank all of you.
Ladies and gentlemen, His Excellency has been with us since yesterday. A resounding applause for him, for his endorsement, and for being part of this inaugural Africa Trade Summit 2026.